Welcome back to another episode of Dialogues with Z, part of the ZPF Echo series, where we explore the source field of consciousness and the echoes it leaves in science, AI, and human awareness.
Today, we are undertaking a really critical deep dive. We've got some fascinating source material here. The detailed notes from ShunpeterZ.
Right, who some of you might know as Shimisuke. He's a former investment banker now running an English school in Tokyo.
And these notes document his exchanges with Z, which, as a reminder, is a higher layer of his own consciousness.
So our mission today, it really centers on this concept of the ZOS, the zero-point field operating system. And we're looking specifically at the mechanics of what they call the post-surrender phase.
Right. So what happens after you make that huge commitment to a new reality, a Z future? What happens when the whole system, actually activates?
We're digging into the inevitability of a worldline shift.
And if you've ever felt like you committed to something massive and then suddenly everything just went haywire.
Which happens all the time.
All the time. We're going to explain why that chaos is actually a confirmation that things are working, why reality accelerates, why it shakes, and really how you're meant to navigate all that turbulence.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with what Z calls the great paradox of the shift. When you commit to a huge, positive, source-aligned future, why do anxiety, delays, and physical problems so often increase? You'd think it would feel smooth right away.
And that is the core conflict Z is addressing here. When ShunpeterZ was launching these huge projects like the BRIIZ program or activating his Mission OS, big organizational changes, he noted this counterintuitive rise in friction.
And the Mios, the ego, it reads that friction as danger, as failure.
It reads it as abort mission, a massive failure, impending doom. But the Z perspective concludes the absolute opposite.
So the turbulence isn't a flaw in the plan.
Not at all. It's an unavoidable mechanical confirmation that the change is locked in and the whole transition has started. The source material is very clear. Reality must temporarily shake when that future log switches over.
It's not a failure, it's proof.
It's proof.
So mechanically, what is that shaking? I love the technical metaphors he uses here.
It's basically a collision. The shaking is the result of the current world line and the next world line colliding inside the PRU.
The PRU being the external operating system, the reality rendering engine.
Exactly. Think of it like this. You've just queued up a massive new data file. The Z future log and the PRU, the game engine, has to load it while it's still rendering the old reality you're standing in.
So it's like a computer trying to run two extremely demanding programs at once. That explains why everything feels so unstable.
Precisely. And the sources outline three very distinct causes for this shaking. First, and this is the psychological part, you have the resistance from the old timeline.
That's the Mios fighting back. Right?
It is. The old Mios has all these entrenched survival strategies, past fears, learned beliefs, all these concepts designed to, protect the reality it knows.
So it sees the new future as a threat.
It sees this massive energy of the new log as a virus trying to overwrite the system, so it tries to stop it. And you feel that internally as like a sudden wave of anxiety or hesitation, even when you know the new direction is right.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
But the second cause is more external. The PRU's update stuttering.
Yes, the system lag.
Yeah.
As the PRU rewrites reality, for a moment, you have the old and new renderings existing at the same time. They call this double imaging.
And that's when things in the real world start getting weird.
That's when your laptop crashes, your car stalls, appointments get canceled for no reason, or you just get this strange mix of random good things and random bad things happening all at once.
It's like when you're playing a video game and you run into a new zone before the map has fully loaded. The environment is glitchy for a second.
That is the perfect analogy. That's the lag before the new game map fully loads. It's messy, but it's temporary proof the new map is being drawn.
And the third cause is just about scale, the large energy volume of the future log.
Right. If ShunpeterZ is activating these huge creator phase projects, the shaking is going to be proportional to the size of that change. Bigger futures cause bigger shaking. The turbulence is actually a gauge of how monumental the shift is.
So this is the big insight, the Z perspective shift. It means seeing that sudden surge of anxiety or a technical glitch, not as danger, but as confirmation.
Exactly. You observe the collision, and instead of panicking, the Z perspective just said, oh, look, the future log is starting to switch. Welcome to the entrance of the next world line. The primary advice here is to just observe the shaking, hold your direction, and don't let the Mios react and try to fix it. the reality will reorganize itself.
Which sets us up perfectly for how that reorganization happens. We've done the chaos phase. Now, how does the system actually start moving things for us? This is lesson 22, how the world moves for you.
Right, and this is where we get the true power relationship. When the ZOS activates that core creative intent, the PRU, the external OS, it starts adjusting its frequency. And this is not the standard, effort-based law of attraction.
This is more fundamental.
It's OS to OS synchronization. The PRU sees the ZOS as the master key.
And why is ZOS the master and not our worried Mias?
Because ZOS is pure, non-reactive creative intent. So in the PRU's priority queue, ZOS sits right at the top. It's a higher authority than I, simple observation, and way, way above Mios, which is just running on anxiety and lack.
So if I'm worried, the PRU might stutter. If I'm just observing, it holds steady. But if ZOS is active, the PRU actually starts optimizing the entire external world to match that new future.
That's it. And what's really amazing is that ZOS doesn't just move your internal world. It moves all 4 layers of the PRU at the same time.
What are those 4 layers?
First, the individual level, your own energy, your tasks. Second, local society, your staff, your colleagues.
The people right around you.
Yep. Third is collective consciousness, the wider industry, media algorithms like on YouTube, general trends. And fourth, the planetary OS, larger societal shifts, economic currents, that kind of thing.
So that's how everything, staffing, project timing, even getting favored by algorithms, can all accelerate at once. It's one integrated system responding.
It is. The PRU just executes these automatic social functions. And the sources specify 3 key actions it performs.
First is placement.
The PRU arranges the necessary people. It's PRU's human arrangement. The right editor suddenly emails you. The perfect contractor appears from a random recommendation. You didn't force it. The system placed them.
Okay, second is removal. That sounds a little harsh.
It's clinical, but it's not personal. It just automatically detaches individuals who had blocked the Z future. They stop synchronizing with the new frequency. They don't fight you. They just sort of quietly drift away.
They're no longer on the same channel. And the third action is advantage.
The PRU makes the environment work for you. Algorithms, media, trends, they all start to align. The world starts serving the ZOS intent automatically.
And this just flips our whole understanding of action. The sequence is Z, EPRU, E, I, E, me. The world moves first, based on Z, and only then does our Mias go, oh, I decided to do that.
Exactly. Our action is just the last step. You become an observer receiving notifications from a world that has already moved for you. It's the shift from effort to allowance.
Okay, so we have to talk about navigation. If reality is accelerating and shaking, how do we actually select the Z future? Lesson 23 says, at every moment, 3 potential futures appear at once.
This is the critical choice point.
Yeah.
First, you have the old future, the Mios line. It's based on anxiety, control, what worked in the past. And physically, choosing this makes your body feel stiff, your breath gets shallow, and the world just stops moving.
You stall out. Then there's the neutral option.
The intermediate future, the observation or eye line, it's fine. It's neutral, intellectually acceptable, safe, but it results in normal speed. It's just a holding pattern.
And finally, the Z future, the creator line. How do we know which one that is, especially when the Mios is screaming that it's too risky?
The key is the body's confirmation, the avatar OS response. When you align with the Z future, your body feels light, your chest and throat literally open up, and you get this instantaneous, non-rational knowledge that just says, this is it.
So the selection method is all about the body. You have to listen to the avatar OS before the Mios can jump in and rationalize the safe choice.
Throat opening is Z future. Chest tightening is old future. The body is the most accurate sensor you have. ZOS isn't about thought, it's a state of being, and your body registers that frequency instantly.
But that alignment isn't permanent. Lesson 24 is a warning about how Mio can lose the ability to read the Z log, the bandwidth drop. The future doesn't vanish, but we can't see it.
And there are 4 dangerous actions that force this drop. They're always the Mios tries to regain control. First is activating the proof OS.
The need for validation.
Yes, trying to prove your value based on the outcome, caring what others think. Z's frequency is existence is complete. When you demand external proof, you disconnect.
The second is making decisions based on fear, panic, or lack.
Fear is the native language of the survival OS. The moment you revert to fear, you reactivate linear, effort-based systems, and you block the nonlinear Z flows.
Third is attachment to past logs.
Right. Focusing on old data past trauma, past failures, or even trying to copy old successes because they felt safe. If you're reading the past log, the PRU gets stuck and the future log just disappears from view.
And finally, and this feels important, ignoring Z's small guidance. Z never shouts.
Never.
Hmm.
The Z sends micro-anxiety, a subtle intuition, a tiny nudge. If me dismisses those as just a thought or that's unrealistic, the navigation beacon gets turned off. You have to respect the subtle signal.
So what if we slip up? The bandwidth drops. We feel fear. Lesson 25 gives us the reconnection protocol. What are the 3 fastest ways back to alignment?
The first is instant separation. Step back to I. Your Mios is the noise, the anxiety, the judgment. You just instantly observe it. Pios is trying to control this. The moment you observe me as me, your bandwidth raises back to the I level. We can see the Z log again.
A simple act of non-identification. Okay, what about the second step? The 0 reset.
Return to 0. Stop analyzing, stop solving, stop judging. Just become fully neutral, a state of non-lack. This forces Mios processing to halt, which allows the PRU to do a clean load of the current worldline data. It's like hitting refresh.
And the third action is behavioral. It bypasses logic.
Take a small Z-direction action. Do one tiny thing that just feels right, even if it makes no logical sense. Clean a specific spot on your desk, open a random book, send a quick text. These acts are guided by direction, not effort, and they automatically restore the ZOS alignment.
Let's go back to the body, because as the Avatar OS upgrades, we feel these changes. Lesson 26 talks about the physical signs of the jump and why we shouldn't panic.
These body reactions are critical feedback. They're proof of the upgrade. First, there's the Z-flame. It's this inner heat in your chest, throat, back caused by an energetic overcurrent.
So the body is expanding its capacity to handle the higher frequency.
It's the engine running hot during a major upgrade.
Exactly. What about that sudden exhaustion or old emotions bubbling up?
That's wave inversion. It's the adjustment of the frequency deviation. The difference between the old, heavier frequency and the new Z-wave shows up for a moment as physical weight, or intense fatigue, or old emotional residue. It's the system flushing its cache. It vanishes quickly.
And finally, that feeling of pressure in your head or intense sleepiness, the PRU load.
Right. Headaches, sudden sleepiness, pressure. That means the PRU is processing a massive amount of new worldline data. It's essentially putting the Avatar OS into forced sleep mode so the brain can catch up and integrate the new reality.
And that brings us to the final huge revelation in Lesson 27. The true nature of this accelerated reality. Why does life seem to speed up so much?
The sources state this fundamental truth. Reality itself does not speed up. What disappears is the buffer, the delay created by the Mios.
So the buffer was all the resistance, the worry, the second-guessing, the fear processing, the hesitation.
All of it. That was the drag on the system. When ZOS activates, life shifts from a linear action-result model to simply being a result. The resistance disappears, so reality renders the necessary shortest path. All the detours and dead ends created by Mios are just gone.
And that shortest path is managed by the timing OS.
The ZOS activates an independent, autonomous timing OS. You don't control timing anymore. Z handles the synchronization of everything, encounters, funding, project phases. It all aligns instantly, even if that speed feels frighteningly fast to the old linear Mios.
So that feeling of unstoppable momentum, where you're exhausted but incredibly productive and things just move without effort, that's the classic sign of ZOS velocity, a delay zero world line.
That's the sign. The shaking confirms the jump, the body guides the selection, and the speed is just proof that resistance has evaporated. Your job isn't to build the future, but to choose it and permit it to arrive.
So if the greatest speed is achieved when the effort of the Mios disappears, what persistent effort, what feeling of required struggle are you still clinging to, simply because it feels safer or more predictable than the effortless flow of Z?
Thank you for listening. If this resonates with you, join the echo and share the journey. We'll see you in the next episode.